Hey guys, welcome back to another live trading video. I've had a really good streak in the markets recently, and I am currently long the S&P 500. In this video, you're going to see that trade start to finish. Now, I'm a swing trader, so a little bit of context behind this trade. This is not a day trade or a very short-term trade. This is a bit of a longer-term trade that I took on the S&P 500. And my goal with this video is to break down the specific reasons for why I took this trade, as well as how I managed the trade throughout the duration of the trade. So hopefully this video is helpful to you. If you enjoy this type of stuff, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll make sure to make more of these types of videos in the future. Let's jump in. Hey traders, welcome back to another live trading video. Today I'm taking a look at the S&P 500, and I have a long position that I want to walk you guys through step by step. Now what I mean by this is in this video I'm going to be trading this start to finish, whether it is a winner or loser, and uploading it to YouTube and breaking down every part of the trade. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. These videos are a lot of work to put together, but if you enjoy them, I'll continue making them. So first of all, I'll be trading SPY, which is a ETF that I can trade in the US to trade the S&P 500. I could do this on a futures brokerage, but I prefer trading ETFs. It is just something I'm more comfortable doing. And while I'm placing the trade on SPY, I'll be trading SPX 500 for my analysis, or marking up SPX 500 for my analysis. So price has recently come down to an area where, again, buyers have been very, very strong. If we take a look left, you can see that this area was a key level of resistance. We broke out of this. And by the way, this was the announcement that Donald Trump had won the election. The market ripped off of that on the prospect of lower taxes and perhaps a better environment for businesses, more pro-business perspective. And that's not a pro or anti-Trump comment. It's just the way the market took it, right? Less taxes, corporate earnings are just likely to be a little bit more optimistic outlook, as opposed to had we seen tax hikes that could have scared businesses and cut into profitability, etc. Anyways, price rallied from there, came back, retested that area, shot off this area, and has been holding it well as an area of support in recent times. So I actually went long the S&P 500 with a stop loss down here. You can actually see that at the time of recording this video, the trade already has come down to test my stop loss, but did not quite hit it. So I am in this trade and starting out slightly in the negative on this particular position. You can see to start out this trade video, I'm already down $850 on this trade. So didn't have the perfect entry, but what I liked about this and why I'm recording this video is because I still really liked the way this bounce back occurred. So we saw this big drop and pop back into just about where break even is for this initial entry. Now I do want to clarify that the strategy that I use is not purely technical analysis based. I don't place all my positions based on a support and resistance level. I do a lot of the analysis through the EdgeFinder's top setups algorithm. And what this is doing is it's looking at sentiment, technical, and economic data and generating bullish or bearish ideas in the market. So you can see that the S&P 500 is currently getting a score of +6 on my system, and that is a good enough reading for me to take a look at the chart and possibly set up a long trade based on this data. Now what we can see here is, again, GDP, PMI numbers, retail sales, most of these economic readings out of the United States have been very strong overall, and that is giving me some confirmation, as well as seasonally it's January, which is on our rating here a pretty good month of the year for bullish setups on the S&P. So what I'll do now is I'll pause the video and come back once some time has passed on this trade. Okay guys, a little bit more time has passed on this S&P trade, and we've got a full-blown reversal here. This is great. And this comes after basically we had a really good CPI number that kind of saved the day. Stocks were very scared about inflation, and instead what we got is, while inflation did come in as expected, the core CPI component of inflation came in light, showing some of the more sticky areas of the inflation story. Like, when we look at CPI, we're looking at everything, prices kind of across the board. Core CPI does some more of the core kind of components to inflation. Food and energy is usually stripped out of core CPI, right? That's the idea. So those things that are very volatile are removed. So point is, the market liked the inflation data that we got here today and has bounced pretty strongly from this area of support around 58.50. This is a great start for my trade. If we take a look at the updated P&L on this position, you can see we are up now about 69.15. So nice little profitable trade now, floating about a 1-to-1 initial risk, still going to stay where it is. I would like to see for the S&P 500, again, I've got this marked on my SPX chart. I'm looking for a breakout of this trend line, right? If we can get a nice follow through move that breaks out through these highs, then I'm gonna start to look for an opportunity to trail my stop loss into profit. Specifically, I'm watching on the SPY a move back over the 600 mark. If we can get a move above the 600 mark, then we look very good for continued upside in my opinion. But from there, I'd like to protect my initial trade and lock in some profit on the position. So SPY looks really good. If we go back and look at SPX 500 here on the daily chart, which is where I really did this chart idea, I love that this area ultimately did hold. Although it was not a clean hold of support, we did hold so far. So it doesn't necessarily mean we're out of the woodworks here. Like we could still see this thing roll over and fall apart, but the trade is looking really good and off to a great start. The S&P 500 continues, well, it was a bullish reading. We've gone back into neutral territory, but the initial trade was a bullish reading on the edge finder. So that gave me some confirmation to take the entry. From here, I'm just gonna manage the trade. If we can get a breakout and follow through, I'll trail stops. Otherwise, I will take a loss if needed still. I mean, that very well could happen. These trades happen to me sometimes where a move like this happens. And sometimes people ask, well, Nick, why don't you just go ahead and move your stop to break even? And while I do that sometimes, or while I don't like to do that, the reason I don't do that is because sometimes markets will do this, right? They'll just come back and retest the entry and then shoot off that area. So I don't usually move stops to break even. However, sometimes I will trim my initial risks. So like I could technically take my stop loss and just slightly trim it higher. But what I'd be looking for specifically, like I mentioned, would be a breakout through these highs in order to really start taking my initial risk and moving it into a profitable position that I lock something in on. But I like to trail my stops loosely, which comes at a cost sometimes, but also can be very advantageous to catching really large runners when they do finally form. So we'll see if that's this trade. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If it isn't, we just continue to move on and look for the next one. So what I'll do now is pause the video and come back once markets have moved a little bit more. Also, for those of you who are enjoying this video so far, I just wanted to mention that if you guys would like to get notified anytime I take a position, I share all of my trades. And as you can see in this video, they're all shared on real live brokerage accounts, no demo stuff, no fake profits, nothing like that. If you want to see the real trades that I'm taking on my personal account and why I'm trading them, as well as entries, exits, all the details behind every trade that I take. If that's something that would be beneficial to you having in your Discord, getting sent to your phone or to your desktop, you can sign up for our VIP service. This is not a free service. We put a lot of time and effort into helping traders who are looking to learn more and see the trades that I'm taking with why I'm taking them. If you're interested in that, all the information can be found down below in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment to sign up, and subscribers of my YouTube channel get an extra discount. All the information, like I said, is in the description down below. Okay guys, so it is the day after CPI. Markets are a little bit quieter and we do see price on the S&P 500 continuing higher, testing this kind of trend line or getting close to it. I have kind of consistently said what I'm looking for here is a break and close above that trend line in order to start looking for an opportunity to try and trail my stop loss into profit and lock something in on this position. There's not too much beyond that to comment here on my trade so far, but the S&P 500, we're floating a pretty good profit, just testing to see if we can actually break out here on the SPY. So we'll give this a little bit more time and see what happens next. Okay guys, it's been a few days on this S&P trade since I last updated it. Today we actually had the inauguration of Donald Trump back into the Oval Office. And I wanted to just kind of give you a little bit of an update. There was a lot of price action today, a lot of noise, although today was actually, the stock market was actually closed today in honor of Martin Luther King Day. So the stock market was closed, but the futures market did continue. So we did see this S&P 500 trade continue to go through these highs. In fact, some very strong price action above the highs. And then actually what we're seeing today was kind of a drop down and some rejection of that area, some buyers coming in. So I actually feel still pretty good about this trade. My stop loss has not yet been moved. And I mentioned the stock market is closed, but tomorrow my plan is to go ahead and trail a stop into profit right around this area here. So the idea will be to, again, take at a stop loss that I have on my position. And there we go. I just applied a trailing stop or just a horizontal ray to represent where my stop loss will go. But I'm going to go ahead and put my stop loss here. Again, really, I'd like to see this thing continue to follow through to the upside from here, retesting this downward trend line. But overall, I still like the fundamental analysis based setup here on the S&P 500, and the price action is so far complying pretty well with my analysis. I'll pause the video and give you guys an update once something else happens interesting on this chart. A little bit more time has passed on this S&P 500 position, and you can see it is looking excellent with a break and close above this trend line here, that nice intraday wick rejection up through, and again, that trend line holding very, very well. What was resistance now acting as support. This trade looks phenomenal so far, and I have actually trimmed my stop loss or trailed my stop loss further into profit just below this spike low. Let's have a look at the live P&L of this position. It is, again, right after hours here at the time of recording this video, and the position is up $16,700, which is a phenomenal return so far. And I always make the point here that it is very, very important when we get a move like this with my trading strategy. It can be very tempting to feel like I need to take a profit and close this move because it is likely to correct. And the answer, or the truth is, it is very likely to pull back. It's very, very likely that this market will have some, pullbacks to it. There may be a pullback into this area, or perhaps even a little bit further. But for me, what is really important to remember here is for my trading style here to capture the really good sized moves that occasionally happen in the markets. For example, this stretch here, or this stretch here, or this stretch here. I have to be able to stomach some of the intra kind of trade pullbacks that can occur. The best moves for me usually have very minute kind of continuous or small pullbacks before the continuation of that move. I'm okay to hold on to this trade through some of those pullbacks, but I just want to clarify here that sometimes it's very tempting to close a profit just because you've got a really hot runner and you're afraid to lose it. But in this case, I am accepting that I'm going to give back some gains here if this thing really corrects, in exchange for the opportunity to potentially catch a very large outsized winner. Although they are not very frequent, when they happen, they make up the bulk of the returns that my trading account experiences. So far, this S&P trade is off to a great start, and it is a great position considering it is now a matter of how much I'm going to make rather than if I'm going to make money or not. So what I mean by that is that I can't lose money on this position anymore because, again, this market is, I've got my stop loss locked in, so I'm going to make money on this trade. The question is, how much money will I make? If I can get another opportunity to trail stops further, essentially I'm looking for a break through the all-time highs, then I will be able to lock in a bigger profit on this thing and just kind of continue to let it ride. So I'm going to pause the video and give this some more time to play out. It is Friday, January 24th. I'm making an update on this S&P 500 trade, and I have officially moved my stop loss further into profit. Previously, it was below this intraday swing low, and I just closed, or we just saw a closure above the all-time highs. This new all-time high signaled a good opportunity for me to go ahead and take that stop loss and move it further into profit, locking more on the trade. So I'm actually in the position on the ticker symbol ETF, or the ETF ticker symbol SPY. I have my stop loss moved just below this previous all-time high. You can see here where we closed around 605 on the SPY, and I've got my stop loss locked in. So at this point, trade is closed, or trade is open with about a $20,000 profit overall. And my plan here is to, again, see if we want to keep ripping through these highs. If we want to make new, fresh all-time highs, then excellent. If not, if we fail out here at support, I'm going to go ahead and take that as my chance to lock in a profit on this position. Got a really nice runner here. It's been, a trade that I've been in since, I don't know here, about 14 days now. So a couple weeks since I entered this trade. And typically this is what one of my better winners looks like. It's typical for a good win for me to take more than a week or so to play out, simply because it just means I'm continuously trailing stops further and further in. And if this trade wants to continue to rip, then I may get a chance to do that and lock further profits in this position. So I never really know how long my trades are going to last. Typically, the best ones take quite a while to play out. And so far, far things are looking pretty good on this trade. I just updated members here inside of the group with everything I've just explained here for live real-time updates. If that's something that you're interested in, you can always find out more by using the link in the description down below to sign up. I'll pause the recording and come back once something further happens with this trade. All right, guys, so that trade is all done now on the S&P 500. Ended up getting trailed out of this position with some big sell-offs happening due to geopolitical uncertainty and China dropping their DeepSeek AI, which is causing some stir in the tech world, causing markets to slide here a little bit here this morning. That being said, this trade I'm all out of. We'll put a profit screenshot on the screen so you can see how the trade resulted. Ended up doing pretty well. Definitely loved the entry spot here. I think that was technically a very good trade. And of course, feeling good here that at least that my stop loss is kind of getting me out of the way of this carnage that we saw here this morning. So SPY all out of this position. Very happy with how this trade played out. And from here, I'll probably be looking for new setups and opportunities. Just going to move on from this trade, take profits. And although it's not the full profit that I could have had should I closed it right at the top, hindsight is a dangerous thing in trading. And for me personally, obviously, if I had known the market was going to drop there, I would have closed it. But I didn't, and I kind of always operate with we never know for sure what's going to happen next in markets. All we can do is do educated guesswork, manage risk, and move on to the next trade. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember that if you'd like to get access to the trades being shared by myself throughout the week, you can get updates on everything that I'm trading anytime I take positions inside of our Discord server, which is linked in the description down below. You can sign up and get access to those signals if you're interested for a discount using the promo code in the description down below. Thank you for watching. If you're looking for a better brokerage, then stick around for a second. I'm going to tell you how you can get some free sign-up perks with great brokerages all around the world. Whether you trade FX or indices, commodities, futures, all of the above, I'm going to show you a really cool way that you can get free sign-up perks with your new account. So if you're interested in switching into a different brokerage, you can get things like deposit bonuses or free stock shares, or you can even get access to some of our products for completely free. All you have to do to find out current perks being offered to new depositors is go to a1trading.com/brokers. That's a1trading.com/brokers. And as you look at that page, you'll see all these different offerings that we've currently locked down for you guys as subscribers, as viewers. Now, of course, we get something out of this. If you choose to use these links, you'll be supporting our page. But in return for the viewers, we've got great sign-up perks available for you guys so that you get some free game just by signing up for a brokerage if you're looking to do so. So check it out on our website. You can find current deals at a1trading.com/brokers. Thanks for watching this video, and on the screen right now you'll see some other options of other videos we put together that might be helpful to you in your trading career. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.